I forget what movie it's in, but there was a movie where someone is like they're in Colorado and he's like that John Denver, Rocky Mountain High, lying piece of shit.
That's funny.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark's movie reviews, a discussion detailing the good, the bad, and downright ridiculous of anime movies. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai, and joining me tonight, I have our poser extraordinaire, Natai.
I don't know why I'm jiving like this. Like, I'm editing it the way I'm editing. Like, it's always on you when we open the episode. I don't know why.
I know. You always, but hey.
A for effort.
Jive away.
I'm just jiving. I'm a dancing queen.
He's vibing. We all vibing. And we really are vibing because tonight we're talking about another Ghibli movie. What are we doing, Natai?
It's time to whisper to some hearts.
This is we're doing Whisper of the Heart. This was chosen by Natai. So I have to ask, have you seen this before, or is this your first time?
This is my first time seeing this movie, and the thing that caught my eye, because I haven't seen all Ghibli movies, so, kind of want to, slowly I do want to go over all of them and just, experience them, because they're
we have slowly been going over most of them with our movie reviews.
And but the thing that, because I never heard of this movie until, I don't remember where or how I came across this clip. I just came across this clip of this one, it looked like a Ghibli movie, and these, band of characters start singing Country Roads by John Denver. I'm like, huh, what? I need to find out about this. And then I learned about Whisper of My Heart, Whisper of the Heart. And ever since I've been like, I want to watch this movie. I need to see what it's all about. And I'm sure glad we did, because spoiler alert, that was a lot of fun. That was great.
Yeah. By the way, Whisper of the Heart is the English localization, because the actual Japanese title is If You Listen Carefully.
Doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Whisper of the Heart.
It's quite like Whisper of the Heart. But it's also, so the movie is based on a manga of the same name.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
the manga came out in 1989. The movie itself came out in 1995.
Okay.
At least in Japan, it released on July 15th, 1995. I was but a 5-year-old babby boy.
I did not exist.
So also fun fact about this movie. It is not directed by Hayao Miyazaki or Isao Takahata.
Goro
who had
Miyazaki.
directed-
His
or no, it was
redemption.
not. But no, it was not directed by Goro Miyazaki either. No, unfortunately, he is not that good. I hate to say that, Goro, but maybe you need a desk job.
Maybe you should try doing some CG animated movies. Maybe
No,
that's
God,
where-
no. No, God, no. We've seen that the road that goes down. It's not good. But no, this was directed by Yoshifumi Kondo.
Okay.
Fun fact about Kondo is the only film that he ever directed for Studio Ghibli. He was actually being trained. I hesitate using this term. He was being groomed to take over as the next.
Oh my God.
Listen,
That is an
grooming used to-
interesting choice of words, Alex.
Gen Z has destroyed that word, because grooming used to be a business term for training someone to take over a new role.
a Gen Z thing, bro. I don't think so.
Anyway,
He was prepped up, maybe. He was being
prepped. He was being trained and prepped to take over as the next successor to both Miyazaki and Takahata.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he died in 1998.
Oh my God.
He had a brain aneurysm and a boop.
Wow, that's insane. So this is his only directorial
It's not
position?
the only thing he directed ever in anime, but it is the only Studio Ghibli movie he directed.
I see. Oh, what a shame. Wow, what a loss. That's wow. Now I'm sad, bro.
He did direct some other anime series, but it is his only feature film directorial thing. So it was his debut and the final one that he ever did.
That's crazy, because there are some moments in this movie, because I was wondering if it's a Miyazaki movie, because it didn't feel in terms of direction like a Miyazaki movie. But there were
Miyazaki
some
wrote the script.
really okay,
Yeah,
but it is based off
Miyazaki.
the manga.
It is based off a manga, but Miyazaki did write the screenplay.
But
So
there are some like really cool like flourishes in this movie in terms of like direction that I absolutely loved. Like there's this moment where she sort of like she conceives of this story that's going through her head, and then like it's happening in the sky, and then the camera pans down, and it's her like walking down the stairs she always does, and it's like it was so like seamless, and it was so like that's neat the way like because she's in real time conceiving of this like story in this fictional world. It's like so like I like the way the movie looked in terms of its direction. Like the animation
yeah,
obviously was great. I mean Ghibli.
I mean it's Studio Ghibli,
Yeah, it's
so you
kind of
kind of expect, unless Goro Miyazaki is directing something. I'm sorry to like harp on that, but he's not very good.
it's kind of a shame that Goro Miyazaki is like this punching bag. Like I do feel bad because I mean this is not
He's
Goro
living in
Miyazaki,
the
I'm sorry.
shadow of his much more talented father.
Was Tales from Earthsea good?
It's probably the
in terms
best
of
thing that
animation?
he's directed, but it's not that great. I mean, animation wise, it's fine.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so yeah, I did mean to ask you if this is a Miyazaki effort, but no, and that's
Yeah.
actually really cool.
Writing wise, it is a Miyazaki effort, and I mean, it does have some of those Miyazaki flourishes in it, especially in the dialogue. The dialogue is very Miyazaki.
Bro, I love the dialogue.
Yeah.
It feels so like it doesn't feel too hammy. It feels like very natural, and it sometimes it hits harder than I anticipated. Like most of this movie is fairly like I don't know if whimsical, but it's very like it's funny to call it chill, but it's a very like it's not an intense movie.
No, it's not. I mean, emotionally, it has some intense moments in it, but like it's the dialogue, especially, it's very mundane, very day to day.
There's like a moment there.
It seems like stuff you could see, like especially with the moments with the family. Like
I
it
was
seems
about to
very
say that,
natural.
yeah.
Like the dialogue is very natural.
That like I haven't looked it up, but whoever voices the father, I like he sounded very. It's interesting. It sounded very different from the rest of the cast in the way he was performing. Right? Like he sounded the most real in the sense of it's just a dude like you're having conversation with, and I like that. I like his performance. Like it sounded, but like the thing is like the reason I say it felt like something that hits like hard. It seems real. Like I literally wrote this down because I wanted to bring it up. Like so you say the script is written by Miyazaki. That's actually fascinating because this one line like really stuck with me. You have this one scene later on between the sisters and like Shizuka, that's her name, right? Shizuka. She asks her older sisters like, how did you know what you wanted to do in the future? How do you know what to do with with your future? And her sister replies, "I'm in college trying to figure that out." Oof!
I can
Oof!
relate.
Fucking that hurt, bro. So yeah, it felt like I love this script, honestly.
I also you mentioned the guy that voices the father, and I'm assuming you watch this in Bless you. I'm assuming you watch this in Japanese like I did. The guy that does the voice for him is Takashi Tachibana, and it is his only anime credit.
That's the thing we always are surprised by with these Ghibli movies, that like most of their voice casts are like non-anime actors for the most part, right?
Yeah.
But they pull these like great performances from them.
Also, fun fact: he's not an actor by trade. He is a journalist.
No shit. That is what the fuck. What?
Yeah, that's like his like primary job. He's done some acting like in live action that I found here.
Is this a Shenmue thing? Is this like actually Shenmue thing? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I know. I've never actually played those games.
So Shenmue, like, oh my god. So slight tangents. Shenmue are these like very old Genesis or Saturn games. I don't remember.
They've been around for a long time.
They were super expensive to make. They were basically like the first open world games to some extent, or the like sort of life simmy whatever. And the guy who created them, Yu Suzuki, he had this incredible idea. So when they needed to like get voice actors for the English translation, for the English dub, I guess you would call it, he didn't go for like actors. He would look for people who look like the characters to voice to voice them.
Is the thinking then like if the people look like these characters, they'll sound like I feel like they look? Or
I
they
guess
sound?
I don't know. It's just a fascinating detail that I can't stop thinking about. So maybe
Interesting.
Miyazaki has went to the same school of Yu Suzuki, or maybe it's the other way around actually. But
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, just looking it up, that's his primary job as a journalist, and
that
he's
is
done
so
some
funny.
acting in live action, but it is his only voice acting role.
That is actually funny.
Uh,
But yeah. So, do you want to talk about like the story, or do you want to tackle like things you liked about this movie first?
I
How do you wanna go?
wanna ask you something.
Okay.
Did you realize going into this that this is the origin of Lo-Fi Girl?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Well, watch it. Oh my god, that is actually true. Oh my god.
Because this is not my first time seeing
I
this
marked
movie.
out when I saw it first for the first time. I was like, wait a minute.
I first saw this movie years ago, and I've watched it, I think, twice since then, but it's been so long. But when I got to that scene, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. This is where Lo-Fi Girl comes
That is
from.
like so. I when I saw that shot of her like studying and like flipping the pages, I was like, wait a minute. And but then like it's been like 3 hours ago, so maybe I didn't even think about it till now. But oh my god, that that's nuts, dude.
Yeah. Now, I'm always fascinated by when people see that and they realize, oh, Lo-Fi Girl.
That is actually crazy. But
That honestly today might be the biggest legacy this movie has.
probably it's insane. But I will
At least
say,
internationally. Like, I mean, obviously it's still a Ghibli movie and people like adore it because of that. But I feel
most
like
people know this movie without knowing they know this movie.
yes, if
You
you
know.
have ever seen Lo-Fi Girl on YouTube, you have
Yeah.
seen something that
That is
comes from
actually
this
crazy.
movie.
But that's the thing that like it's funny calling the reference, but there are like funny references in this movie. Like the when she goes into this old store with the grandpa and he fixes this like old clock. He opens up the clock and it says Porco Rosso in the middle of it.
Yes.
And so and on one of her books that she has on her like bookshelf or maybe in the library it says Totoro, and the pig on the front of the store looks kind of like the pigs from like there are all these like funny references to Ghibli movies.
Self-referential stuff in the movie.
Which was really endearing to me. Like I did like that quite a lot.
Now, something that we always talk about with Studio Ghibli movies is generally how good the English dubs are. Now, I don't know if you checked out the English dub for this at all.
And I haven't checked it out. Have you watched it dubbed?
I have. The very first time I ever saw this, I
Oh.
watched it dubbed. Back like in 2002
Does it
or
top
2003.
Michael Keaton being a pig?
No. I will say that this may be a hot take. I definitely don't think it's one of the best Ghibli English dubs. And I will say it's hit or miss. Some of the characters are voice acted really well, and some of them are just kind of
Are there any notable actors attached to the English dub? Or
not
not really.
not that I am familiar with.
Okay.
I don't. Let me see. I brought this up earlier. The only one on the English dub list that I even knew was Carrie Elwes, who
Carrie
has been
Elwes.
in a lot of like action movies that I've seen.
That doesn't ring a bell. Carrie Ellis?
Yeah.
I
That's the
don't think I
only
know
that's
this
the
one.
only name that I like recognized when I look through the English cast list.
Mhm.
But
But in general, this dub is a
oh,
no-no.
and Ashley Tisdale is in this.
Who's Ashley Tisdale?
Ashley Tisdale was in the High School Musical film series.
Welp. Did she perform Country Road?
No, not that I'm familiar with. Not that I'm
Take me
familiar
home.
with. But no, it's for me, and particularly, it was very hit or miss with the English dub. Japanese dub is fantastic, though.
I do wonder how the English dub works, because a major like key like a plot point, I guess, in the film is the fact that Shizuka translated Country Roads to Japanese, and they're like singing her translated version of it.
Mm.
So I do wonder how that is tackled in the dub, because
it's kind of played straight. Like they do their best to wind the Japanese lyrics into the existing beat, and it's not.
I
great.
do feel for like the translation team localization team when it comes to like stuff like this, because like you think back to shows like Steins Gate, where also like English is ingrained into the show. So when you try to translate that for a dub, like how do you even? It's a really challenging.
I mean, you could go the route of just giving them like a hyper like overemphasized Japanese accent when they're speaking English.
Can't do the don't do.
Sorry. You know, you laugh at that and people will say that's racist.
I'm sorry.
But no, you were talking on the podcast once about how you had that exact thing happen when you were in Japan. It's like if you say to someone in perfect English, "Where is McDonald's?" The McDonald's. 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 It's like, oh.
I love that interaction because like that person was so nice. That lady was so nice, and like she was really interested. Like, oh, where are you from? I said Israel. She's like, what? Israel? What do you mean? I'm like, Israel. Oh, okay. And I felt so bad while doing that.
But see, that's how Japanese people like talk to each other in English. So that's how they're used to hearing it. That's all I got to say. Like, you can sit there and say it's racist or insensitive, but that's how they say these things in English.
I will, but yeah, but that sort of like theme of Country Road, like what a wild thing to like put in a Ghibli movie. Like I was shocked, and starting the movie up and it being literally the introduction to the movie, I was like, okay, so this song maybe has something more to do with this movie than I thought it would, because I only knew it from that one scene.
Yeah, I mean, she's trying to write a song using what she already knows to like tell a story that she has in
beautiful.
her head.
Like there are so many small tidbits in this movie that don't get a lot of focus, but they're there for like extra flair and to flesh out the characters. Like the fact that she has her like poetry club that she's in, and Shizuku in general. I'm not gonna lie, probably one of my favorite Ghibli characters.
Yeah,
I really like her character. Like she got that like sort of like, I wouldn't call it spunk, but more like smugness about it. Like she's kind of a shitlord and she knows it. She's kind of
she's
like a
written
brat.
like a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, she's kind of a dick sometimes. You know, like her parents are not really pushing towards studying, but like, and she doesn't really help out around the house. And then her sister comes over and she's like, what the fuck, man? Like, why isn't she helping out? And, you know, she's kind of like, she's giving all these tasks, like getting lunch for her dad, or, you know, bringing stuff like milk for the grocery store. And she's like, she is taking her good ass time doing those assignments, whatever, right? She's a lot of fun. She's a really fun main character, honestly.
Yeah. I will say the whole thing would take me home country roads, something you might not be familiar with.
Okay.
In the 80s, John Denver was a big deal in Japan.
Oh yeah.
The Japanese loved John Denver's music.
I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah, that was kind of a thing. So, and I think that Hayao Miyazaki is a big fan of John Denver as well. So.
Do you think John Denver was a weeb?
No.
Like, if John Denver was a weeb, which anime would be his favorite?
Oh, probably a Ghibli movie for sure, but maybe this one because there's songs in it.
Maybe he really liked that one cow episode from Interspecies Reviewers. You know, there's a possibility. You don't know about them cowboys.
Maybe
right?
He would have been a giant gooner and liked High School DxD.
You know, he's from the old country, right? He would go for the milkers. Sorry, John Denver. I like your music quite a bit.
I forget what movie it's in, but there was a movie where someone is like, they're in Colorado, and he's like, that John Denver, Rocky Mountain High, lying piece of shit.
But yeah, I really love the incorporation of country roads into this movie. I love, and like that scene that like got me interested interested in this movie from the beginning. That like where she's singing that song with Seiji playing the violin, then the rest of the guys are coming over to play. Like it's like genuinely magical. I know it's kind of a funny word, but it's a genuinely like magical movie moment for me, I think.
So another fun fact about this movie. So we talk about with the music in Studio Ghibli movies.
It's not a Hisashi
no,
movie,
it's
right?
not. It's not a Hisashi.
It doesn't sound like one.
The music in this film was done by Yuji Nomi, and he also did the soundtrack for this film's sequel, The Cat Returns, in 2002. But also did the scoring for KyoAni's Nichijou.
Really? That is
Yes.
a wild connection. Huh. That's crazy. I don't think this one did it for me as much as I wanted it to.
It's a very different soundtrack than other Ghibli films, and
Yeah.
because Yuji Nomi is a prog rock keyboardist by trade. That's his like field of expertise,
There's
and
some
you can
other
see
songs
that
in
in
this
some of
movie,
these
yeah.
tracks, because there's actually a track that involves like computer generated voices,
Yeah.
and that was really weird. And this is years before Vocaloid, so
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and they also incorporated it into one of the scenes later on in the movie, which was like really interesting. I respect it. I don't think it will stay with me as much as some of the other soundtracks from Ghibli did.
Nah, me neither. It's got moments here and there that's good, and not to say that it's a bad soundtrack at all. It's a great soundtrack.
Sometimes it just feels kind of out of place, but like very rarely. It's not like something that it drags the whole movie down for me or something.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that's a pretty apt thing. Yeah. But let's
But
talk
it is
about the
interesting.
actual story.
Yeah. I will say structurally, I appreciated how much watching this movie. Like the first 20 minutes are wonderful, and I loved how much of it are just like sort of day to day sort of slice of lifey. And in my head, I'm like, I hope this doesn't change, and it doesn't, and I really appreciate that. Like it's a very like again, it's not a relaxing movie, but it's very slice of lifey.
I will say, for me personally, I do think like the middle act of this movie does go on just a little
drags.
too long. It drags a little.
It drags a bit. I did feel myself losing, like the film kind of losing me for a bit, but it led up to that scene that like the band scene in like right in the middle of it, which
and
kind
that
of,
is fantastic when they're in the basement and they're playing the translation of Country Roads, Concrete Road.
It really reinvigorates the entire movie, and it's funny because like right after that section, there's like it kind of feels like the movie is coming to a close, but then you look, it's like
There's like an hour of this movie left.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But it does flow better than like the moment leading up to the basement scene, I would say, because like there's like this. Yeah, I would agree that there's like the second act. There's like a section there that just kind of feels kind of a bit dragged.
Yeah. I mean, it's still good. It's still slice of lifey in that way. But it feels like, I almost wonder, because I have not read the manga that this is based off of. I almost wonder if that's a thing with adaptation where maybe Miyazaki was trying a little too hard to adapt it from the manga. Because I feel like these scenes, the scenes that drag on a little bit, may work better as like in a manga than in a film.
Possibly, because it feels like it feels till up to this moment like the entire movie feels, I wouldn't say like without any, it doesn't have a lot of direction because again it's very focused on the slice of life, but then right after this point they kind of really lean into the romance side of the movie. Like they did, it's not like they did beforehand, but in terms of romance in the sense of the actual main relationship of the movie.
Once Shizuku and Seiji like find each other and they realize who each other are, like that's where the romance really takes off. And
I like their
I would
banter,
argue
by the way.
that by that point, especially like shortly after that, is when it more becomes a romance story than a slice of life.
Kinda, because there are romance elements beforehand, and I do like how there's this like.
I like this. Her friend just rejects the one guy out of spite.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I like that whole section, and I do like how it sort of deals with, like, the quote unquote love triangle, if you can even call it that.
Yeah.
Um, eh,
It
'cause
doesn't really go anywhere.
it doesn't, like, and I like how it kind of stops at, yeah, she's just like doesn't see him as like a romantic partner, even though it's funny because while watching like the earlier scenes of her interaction with uh, the boy, I don't remember his
Uh,
name. Um,
the one that the
that
girl
Haruko
likes.
is that Yuko is into.
Um, fuck. What is his name?
It
I
doesn't matter. So
I've completely forgotten his name.
so it was funny seeing those interaction between the three, that like Yuko is into that boy and she is not, but like before it's revealed that he likes her, it's very, you can tell that he's into her. Like, he only talks to her. He never looks at Yuko's direction. They are the only two have it. And to Shizuka's credit, she's like a great woman, right? She's like
Yes.
trying to prop up like Yuko a lot. She's trying to like get it going to try to hook them up together, and like I love that bit as well. I thought it was like generally funny.
Yeah,
She's a
it
great
was.
character. She's really entertaining to watch, and as I said, like her battle with Seiji is great. Like I can watch them fucking tease each other all day.
That was very fun to watch.
Concrete roads.
Concrete. Give up on concrete road. What? What? I also like that interaction at the library when Seiji brings her the lunch that she left behind for her father, and he's like, "You eat a big lunch." It's like, "It's not mine, I promise."
That is really funny. Yeah, their interaction is great.
Yeah. Also, I really love the interactions between the main character Shizuku and her dad.
The entire
Seiya.
family dynamic is great.
The family dynamic is great. The dad is kind of base though, especially when she's having the whole emotional thing, like, I gotta write for like 2 months straight because my love of my life is gone, and he's like, "Do you feel like you need to do this?" He's like, "I need to do it right now because if I don't do it now, I'm going to lose the opportunity." He's like, "Well, follow your dream."
Yeah,
It's like
it's like
based.
and I love how they portray the family dynamic, like that scene later on in the movie where Shizuko's sister, she's like really in like on her case, she's like really like, what are you actually doing with yourself? You need to study. You're like you're kind of like you're wasting your opportunities, whatnot. And like their dad walks in and he's like observing. He like lets them sort of hash out this argument, and like he wants to see how far they can take the argument between each other, to see, because he really wants their communication to be better, and then when it gets to a point, he's like, all right, time out, separate, let's see what's actually going on. Like I love that small detail. And also like how, man, the fucking production design of this movie blew me away. I love their house, their apartment.
Their apartment is so messy and so
messy
lived in
and cluttered, and it's so like it's a mess, and like the laundry is outside. But man, I could look at like the background for the apartment. It's great. I love how it's designed. I love how much it says about them as a family as well.
To be fair, I mean, number one, that's kind of a Ghibli thing, but also just, and I should have mentioned this before, like the background art in this, stellar.
Wonderful.
Like
Yeah.
it makes everything about where this is taking place feel lived in, because
Tokyo.
there's very few scenes. There are very few scenes, except for maybe some of the ones that take place inside between like one or two characters, where something in the background is not moving.
There's so much detail. Like in the backgrounds, and again, like
there's that scene early on where she gets on the train. That's when the cat first comes in and sits down next to her. Just the way the background is, like, there's a great sense of motion in the background with the train moving. It's like it's crazy.
And again, like that
Hand drawn. It's all hand.
That apartment has so much character to it, and it says so much about the family without it needing to be said, right?
It's like, visual storytelling.
Yeah, even before the mom starts talking about her masters or whatever, like her studies or whatever, you can already tell, okay, this family is like on the verge of struggling financially, but they get by, and then her sister is introduced, and you're like, okay, she's like in college and she's like trying to find her way. And again, you see like, and I love the mother and the father, their dynamic, like their mom being like deep in her studies, but she wants to like pitch in and help out with the house, but she's all, and their dad is trying to like pretty much like take care of the finances of the house
He's like the
almost by
sole
himself.
breadwinner in this family, I
Yeah,
think.
but he's like very chill about it. He's very like, like he I love this family.
Yeah.
I genuinely like got really attached to the family.
Yeah. It's great, like you say, great visual storytelling, and I love the way that the family dynamic is. It feels very real. Like there would have been a really, especially if this were being written like by a Westerner and particularly an American, for when Shizuku is having that like big breakdown moment for the family to start yelling at each other, and it's like that. No, I know that you think that makes drama, but no, it's just yelling.
Yeah. No, because the drama is like in the quieter scenes, like when you see that, you feel the tension between the sisters. That's like sort of part of the drama, and you're like, okay, like she is being kind of a brat, and she's not taking part in in like taking care of the house and chores or whatever. But you see how the sister is kind of really like on her case because she cares about her, and she kind of feels like maybe the parents being a little bit hands off with her might hurt her, and she doesn't want to. Maybe also because she had a different way of the parents raising her. It's and again, like this, we talk about the scene with her classmate confessing to her, that drama, but it's done very in taste, right? In good taste. It's not like over dramatic. It's not this or that, which I will say the end of the movie is a bit melodramatic. I will say
A bit? No, the ending is very like soap opera-y, not gonna lie.
Yeah, which felt, I kind of had a weird whiplash with that moment.
That's to me, that is probably story-wise at least. That is the only like thing I can really put against it. The ending is very abrupt. And also like, hey, I don't know how long it'll be, but when it's time, let's get married. And she's like, okay. Like, girl, you are 14 years old.
Yeah, that was
I know this guy has ambition, and that's very attractive to you, but give it some time. I mean,
I will say though, I think like one of my favorite thing about this movie is kind of like the sort of message of it, of how like in terms of like relationships, you want to bring each other up, you want to lift each other and inspire each other, not only in like romantic relationships but in general. Like it's really wonderful to see how from the beginning of the movie, like Shizuku is kind of like, she's just going day to day. She's kind of lost to some, not lost, but like she doesn't have a direction. And then seeing how passionate Seiji is to the point where he will leave to Italy to go follow his passion of like crafting violins, which is super cool, by the way. And how that sort of like lights her fire, because she, the prep was there, the foundation was there of her enjoying writing and finding passion in that, and being really proud of her idea as well, with how her like members of the club were like, oh please share us your, oh great poet, share us your poetry. I love that.
Oh great one.
Yeah, and I really dig that. Very very berserk, if I may say.
This is nothing like a berserk, but I get what you mean.
But
this is nowhere near as like sad.
Yeah, but like the point of like inspiring each other and like through your passion inspiring other people to follow their passion.
Yeah,
like I think that's really genuine and powerful.
It is. I mean, and like, yeah, you can use your own passion and your own ambition and your own dreams to fuel others' desires and passions and dreams, which is kind of definitely what happens here. Because the only reason that Shizuku is so inspired to write that story is because she knows that she's doing it for someone to come back to and like read it.
Yeah, definitely. Which, by the way, that whole fantastical element of like her story being visualized, I was surprised how much we got of it. I do like it. At first I was kind of like, maybe it was too rooted in the idea of like I want this movie to be slice of life without like any like fantastical elements
Hmm.
at first, but I grew to like it very much. How like they show her story unfold, and how they sort of again like that sort of like the story bleeding into her reality because she's like thinking about it while going back home, and like there is
Yeah.
charm to it. It's very charming.
Yeah. Um, I mean, it's kind of explored a little more in the spinoff, The
The
Cat
cat
Returns.
returns.
The only Studio Ghibli movie thus far to have any kind of sequel or spinoff.
I'm down to watching it. I'll watch it.
I mean, I think it's the only Ghibli movie I've never seen.
Really?
I've
Well, there
never
you
seen
go.
The Cat Returns.
Well, there you go. Definitely should
Uh,
watch it. And also, I like
you
how
should.
it connects back to Seiji's grandpa with like his story about like pretty much experiencing something a little bit similar to what she's about to experience. You know.
Bro, his story about the war. Oh,
And again, that the fucking World War II bleeding into these Ghibli movies. It's inescapable. It's
Listen, as
Yeah,
long
it's
as
interesting.
Hayao Miyazaki is alive, there will always be a World War II connection somewhere in the
God.
stories that he writes. I guarantee you. I mean, even in The Boy and the Heron, like that whole thing is based around World
yeah,
War
definitely
II.
that introduction scene. It's crazy, but yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I will. Like I said, the only criticism I can find with the story itself is really just the ending. The ending, in my opinion, is too abrupt. Which is funny to say for a just over 2 hour long movie.
Yeah, I agree that like I think the ending is not necessarily the like it's I think it's okay. I don't think it's like I it's fine. I think it's just fine.
Hmm.
I think the moments I will go back to with this movie mostly are like both the slice of lifey and like the musical aspects of this movie, and
Yeah,
also the like the character dynamics because I really enjoyed the
the
banter.
family dynamic.
The family
in
dynamic
particular.
in particular was great. I love the dynamic between Seiji and his grandpa. I love the dynamic between Seiji and Shizuku. I really enjoyed Shizuku and Yuko's relationship. How they sort of like lean on each other and they sort of like share their like frustration with boys. Like it's really fun and it's really it's very genuine, and yeah, I had a great time watching this movie, even with like it's dragging a little bit in the middle and kind of losing me for a bit. But once it finds its like direction again, I'm all in it.
I Wow, I've just learned a fact about this film.
Oh,
So when Shizuku's in the library and she's flipping through the book and she sees the wood block or the woodcut engraving art of the violin maker that's been imprisoned.
right, yeah.
It was drawn by Miyazaki's other son, Keisuke Miyazaki,
Holy shit, really? That's
and he
crazy.
is actually a professional wood engraver.
Wow. Huh. Interesting. That is actually
I was
wow.
reading, so I was flipping through this as I was reading. It's like, oh my god, I did not realize that.
Well,
So
I
fun
guess
little
he
fact.
does have a talented son after all.
Yeah, I don't know how good of a professional engraver he is, but yes.
I'm sure he wouldn't create something on the level of what's her name, the witch.
Of
movie.
Earwig and the Witch.
Earwig and the Witch. Oh my god. I actually want that time back. The time
Me
I spent
too.
on that movie.
Me too. Anyway, let's wrap this up by giving our scores. Natai, what do you give Whisper of the Heart out of 10?
I liked this quite a bit. I did. I really enjoyed it. And again, I will remember it for quite like moments of it and like certain aspects of it. I don't think it's as tight as some other Ghibli movies. I don't think it flows as well as some other. But man, like again, that basement scene is like it's actually pure magic. I loved it.
That's the Ghibli magic that shows
Yeah,
up in this movie. Like
definitely.
that and the sequence where the visualization of the imagination sequence. Those two bits
Definitely.
definitely Ghibli magic.
Yeah, definitely, but probably more on the flawed side of it. But again, I loved it. I loved it a bit, and I do want to actually go back and rewatch it at a later point to just see now, like re-experience it. I think it's a 7. I think it's a very strong 7, maybe close to an 8. But I think for now, I think it's a 7 for me.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to criticize about this movie, except for the things that I mentioned. Like, it drags a little bit in the second act, and the ending wraps up a little too abruptly. I feel like if you cut down the second act a little bit and maybe flesh out the ending a little more, especially with getting Shizuku and Seiji, like showing them more together and uh, developing that relationship, I think it would have been a little bit better of a story for me. But all in all, I think I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's still got that Ghibli magic in it a little bit. It's definitely a Miyazaki story, especially with the great dialogue. It's just missing that little bit.
Definitely worth watching. Like, I really, really enjoyed it.
It's a great shame that Kondo died and we never got to see any kind of other movies that he would have directed. Because I think for a directorial debut, this is great.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many like small moments in the direction, in direction wise, that I really enjoyed. Like, there's this one cut from like the street light that you zoom into, like the street light. It just like, and it sort of creates this like the camera change to view both of them from atop, and it's the same color of the light. It's like, that's really neat. You know, it's like there's obviously there's a lot of intent with how this movie is presented.
There's also that scene you're talking. There's also a nice little depth of field effect.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really like.
The shot, I like that a lot.
It's great. Definitely,
that's also something that you see a couple of times throughout this film. Is Kondo was definitely experimenting with depth of field shots.
It's definitely worth the Ghibli name, right?
Yeah. I really wish we could have seen some more stuff that he would have done, because the guy definitely had some talent, and I think had he been able to, number one, stay alive and not have a brain aneurysm and fall down dead,
skill issue,
and actually direct some more movies for Studio Ghibli. I mean, maybe we'd be talking about him in the same breath that we talk about Miyazaki today, because Miyazaki thought that this guy had the potential to take over for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our review of Whisper of the Heart.
Good
I guess
movie.
it's my turn next to choose what we do a movie review on.
Do you know what you're gonna pick? Which movie?
I'm very tempted to do The Cat Returns.
We could do that. We'll see. Sleep on it. We'll see.
I mean, we have definitely been on a Ghibli kick recently with some of our movie reviews, and I know that we want to eventually do movie reviews for every single Ghibli movie.
Yeah. But yeah.
Also, I'm not going to hold it against you, Natai, and I'm not going to make you re-record this entire episode, but her name is Shizuku, not Shizuka.
God damn it. I forgot. I'm a fake. I'm a fake fan.
I'm not going to make you.
I'm going to go back, edit, and every time I say her name, I'll just like do a voiceover over it. It's going to sound so bad.
Just say Shizuku right now.
Shizuku.
There you go. Just dub that in every time you say her name now. He's not going to do that.
This episode will take 5 years to edit. You'll see.
So see you in 5 years, everybody.
I'm done.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for dropping by to watch us talk about Whisper of the Heart. Let us know down below what you think about this movie. Where does it rank for you in terms of Ghibli movies? And let us know what you think we should review next. Maybe if we read your comments, maybe it'll end up being the next thing we review. Also, do not forget to like this if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Check down below also where you can find links to all the stuff Anime Club After Dark does in the description. We have a Discord server you can join where we do watch parties for a lot of the stuff that we end up talking about on the podcast. We have a merch store also linked down there where you can support us that way if you want to. YouTube memberships are turned on. It is only $2.99 a month. Everything we make there is reinvested into this podcast and all of our equipment. With all that being said, though, I have been your host, Alex, and we will see you next time. Say goodnight, Natai.
Send me all your Risu memes right now. Yeah. Come join the Discord. Send me Risu memes. I love nuts.
He has his own channel in our Discord server. He loves Ayunda Risu. Just throw all those memes in there.
Risu, please come on the podcast, please.
Risu sing Country Roads.
Oh, I'd love that.